We just got yet another Black Ops 7 Zombies blog post with more details about Ashes of the Damned, unlock requirements, Augment Research, and a new look at the Zombies HUD. Starting with some more details about Ashes of the Damned, they say that it's worth stating there's a wide variety of secrets we haven't divulged in any of the Black Ops 7 Zombies blogs. Expect additional surprises when you start to explore the terrifying, otherworldly beauty of the Dark Ether. What that could specifically mean, I'm not entirely sure. To me, it really sounds like them kind of looking at us and being like, hey, we're not putting everything in the blog post, so hopefully there's more stuff to discover. Obviously, there's like side quests and little Easter eggs that we can discover, so they might be talking about that too, but I don't really remember them saying that before with any of the other maps, so I don't know, that could be something different. Now we're going to go through several of the locations, and they're going to give us some dates, and I was going to skip over this, but actually some of them are pretty fun. So first of all, we have the Janus Towers Plaza. This is clearly a research stronghold in Liberty Falls built in 1989, but it arrived in the Dark Ether in 1991. What's interesting is this language. They say arrived in the Dark Ether in 1991, but we know time doesn't really work the same way in the Dark Ether that it does in the regular world. So if these things arrive in the Dark Ether at this time, does it mean they're no longer in the real world? That could have some really cool storyline implications. We've got the farm here built in 1920, arrived in the Dark Ether in 1986. Blackwater Lake, this is a really cool location with a very interesting story. I think in the Call of Duty Next presentation, they mentioned something about this family being murderous, or I guess maybe that was this one. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch that. But this was built in 1940 and arrived in the Dark Ether in the 1950s. Now, Ashwood is very interesting because this is a frontier town built in 1820 and arrived in the Dark Ether in 1865. Now, I believe 1820 is around the time that the buried town, I guess, was built, but the fact that it arrived in the Dark Ether in 1865 might suggest that this isn't the buried town or not supposed to be the buried town. Obviously, it doesn't look like the buried town, but it could be related to the buried town. But according to the Zombies Wiki, the buried town, or Victus, visited resolution point 1290 or whatever in 2035. So I don't know if that's going to be true or not, but very interesting to note. Here we have Exit 115. This is a diner built between 1915 to 1980 and arrived in the Dark Ether in 1989. So very recently, very, very recently, at least in the timeline that we came from, because Janus Towers arrived in 1991. So just 3 years prior, just after the events of Cold War, this diner got into the Dark Ether. The Cosmodrome. This is interesting. This is a Soviet era launch facility built in 1960, arrived in the Dark Ether at 1968. I believe, if my Googling is correct, Weaver lost his eye in the Black Ops 1 campaign at this facility in 1963. Treyarch, I really hope you have some interesting character quotes about Weaver, about this facility, and we don't have a repeat of The Reckoning where our characters are basically silent. There's so much history here, especially with this map, so much you could talk about. And then we have the fog. This includes a variety of different places. We've got the knocked plane crash, or at least I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be alluding to that. We've got the Terminus boat. We've got the Z-Rex bones here, this cabin with this pyramid, and then the little forest that we saw in the gameplay from Call of Duty Next. Really cool. Beware of the fog. Dangerous thoroughfares with hidden horrors shroud in the mist. Hopefully there's a lot of fun Easter eggy stuff to do in the fog. I'm so excited to give you guys a map tour. That's going to be one of my first videos. But now we get to some important information. The main quest of Ashes of the Damned is planned to kick off at 10 a.m. Pacific on Friday, November 14th. They've mentioned that this won't be a walk in the park. Again, is that suggesting it's going to be harder than the previous maps in Black Ops 6, or does it just, is that just marketing hype? Now, if you want to know exactly when Black Ops 7 is launching your time for your platform specifically, be sure to check out the video in the icon above where I go over literally all of that. But now we get to some gameplay. There will be 30 different main and melee weapons, which I believe is going to be revealed in a blog post, maybe the day you're seeing this video. We have 28 regular weapons and 2 melee weapons, all of which can have all the different things. They are going to have weapon prestige, and there is going to be a unique attachment for most weapons, and of course camo rewards, which again, I am going to make my own camo tracker, so be sure to stick around for that. But now we have the level unlocks. Now these are all the levels that everything gets unlocked. I have a better way of doing this. I do want to point out, people said, oh, level 11 for Augment Research. That's crazy. That's how it was in Black Ops 6. That is exactly what it was in Black Ops 6. Looking back at my footage, yep, it was absolutely there. But that does mean that even us who have all of our augments unlocked, we might not be able to equip them until level 11 because that whole menu thing is locked until level 11. But maybe it's just the research, maybe it's not the actual augments themselves, so we'll see. In fact, saying it out loud now, this saying Augment Research, I bet you we still would be able to change our augments if we have it carry forward. So I bet you that's the case. I also want to point out here, a lot of people might be confused with all of this. First of all, these are not all of the field upgrades, all of the ammo mods, all of the kill streaks and lethals in the game. This is just when you unlock the ones that are locked. Similarly, these Gobblegums are simply a reward for getting to that level. So once you hit level 9, you're going to get a free power keg. This is going to be just for your first prestige or your first level up, prestige 0. Once you prestige and you go through these levels again, you will not be getting these Gobblegums. This is going to be huge when it comes to Gobblegum testing because a lot of people see these Gobblegums specifically and they say, oh, I got a random Gobblegum, when in actuality, it was just you leveling up. So that does mean that I am going to want to wait till at least first prestige to start my Gobblegum testing, just so that I don't confuse any of these Gobblegums with the random Gobblegums that we get. Let's talk about tacticals, because I have some heartbreaking news. The shock charge and my precious smoke grenades are nowhere to be found. It's sad, it's unfortunate. I loved them, especially the shock charge, but if you're fans of the channel, you know how amazing the smoke grenade was in those niche situations. But there is hope. We have a brand new sight grenade and a hunter bot, and you better believe I will be testing out all of these things against everything I can to give you the best tips and tricks on how to use all of this. I love the sandbox. I love the crafting table. Really excited to see how these work. We all know how stun grenades and stim shots work, or do we? Because with the stim shot, obviously this is a stimulant that quickly heals combat wounds, but this can also overheal if you're at full health. How much that overheals, I don't know, but I am very interested to see. The Psych Grenade is a brand new tactical that explodes on impact and releases a lingering cloud of hallucinogenic gas that brain rots zombies. So this is a pocket brain rot. And I wonder if this uses your brain rot augments, because that could be really good for a really powerful like decoy effect. And this is a hefty one. This costs 800 salvage to be crafted, so very expensive. So I have high hopes for you, Psych Grenade, high hopes. The Hunter Bot is a personal defense device that hovers near and homes towards nearby special elite and HVT enemies. So this is limited to just special and elite enemies. Again, very excited to see if this affects normal zombies, if there's a huge radius towards it, or if it's really good against these guys. I'm very excited. Only 250 salvage though, that kind of brings my expectations down a bit. Decoy that simulates gunfire to distract enemies. In Black Ops 6 it actually played music, so hopefully that's back. It's all good. We love a good decoy grenade. We have a Casimir that creates a singularity, pulls in enemies. We know Symbol Monkey attracts zombies for short duration and then explodes. For our lethals, just like the tacticals, we no longer have the blast trap or the thermo grenades. Those two were actually really good. I'm honestly really surprised they got rid of the blast trap, because there's no other like bouncing Betty or Claymore type of grenade. I guess you could argue the point turret is sort of like the camping grenade, but that's kind of how the blast traps were in my brain. But we have a frag grenade, a sticky grenade, and a cluster grenade, which again we'll need to test out versus the frags and the stickies. Combat axe, we love to see it. It is, I think, more expensive now, 300. I don't know. I feel like it was cheaper in Black Ops 6, but this was way stronger in the beta, and this is unlocked on player level 54. So again, really excited to test this out and see how strong it is. The point turret is like a mini sentry gun. It automatically shoots at enemies, distracting and damaging them. Now, I didn't see a huge distracting effect, so again, we'll need to test it. C4, we all love a C4, can be detonated remotely. And if there are those free power-up drops around the map, the C4 is just perfect for that. I love the creativity of this. And then Molotovs create a patch of flames. Moving on to our support streaks, I want to remind everybody, especially at the start of this game, if you decide to prestige, any unlockable equipment becomes relocked unless you spend an unlock token. This is applicable to the support streaks, to the lethal, and the tactical that we have here. So if you really like something, you might need to spend an unlock token on it. And again, I will be making a video about the best things to use your unlock tokens on, so be sure to subscribe for that. We've got armor plates, self-revives. We have a limit of 3 unless you're using one of those quick revive augments, in which case it's 4. We have the brand new disciple injection. This temporarily transforms you into a disciple. We have the mangler cannon returning. I love the mangler cannon. I think it's really balanced and it has some skill to use. We have the HKDs I'm excited for. This aerial payload delivers wheeled hunter kill drones, which seek targets and explode. 1250. So again, similar to the mangler cannon or a hand cannon. I can't wait to see what that does. And there's going to be even more. We have the ARC CXD, the LDBR, one of the worst ones from Black Ops 6. We get to see its return. We have the hand cannon back. Sentry turret. This could be stronger now that we have toxic growth for camping strategies along with point turrets. They could kind of share that. Hopefully the sentry turret is a little bit stronger because those point turrets were basically the same strength as a sentry turret. But what everybody's talking about, the DAWG Dog, the deployable armored weaponized groundcraft featuring large caliber turret and rocket pod. I've seen people say that this is controversial. I'm so excited. I don't get it. If it's fun to use, it's fun to use. I love kill streaks and zombies if they're fun, if they're good. Now, of course, I do want them to fill a role. I love what Stanley said on the recent Perkaholics Anonymous podcast that I was featured in. A lot of these things, lethals, tacticals, and especially kill streaks, they tend to just be ways of killing zombies and they kind of blur together. So I want more specialization, I want more utility in them, and more kind of combat puzzles to solve. So I do agree with that, but that being said, I'm just going to be so excited to call in a dog. Hopefully we can pet it. You will also notice there is a huge lack of a lot of kill streaks. We don't have the mutant injection or the mangler injection as people call it. So that could be good for a lot of people. Hey, we're not going to have that strategy potentially, depending on how strong the disciple injection is. But we also don't have the war machine, the death machine, the combat bow, all of these DLC and maybe some base kill streaks from Black Ops 6 just aren't here. Same thing with the weapons or the grenades and equipment. Are they going to reintroduce those? Because I really do genuinely miss the smoke grenades and the shock charges, but this is a brand new game. So they want a brand new sandbox and a different sandbox. So are they going to keep it like this? Have we lost some of that piece of the sandbox with those lethals and tacticals? And more importantly, especially when it comes to the kill streaks, are they going to reintroduce the death machine and the war machine in season 1 and season 2 and season 3? And it's just going to be the same exact DLC streaks that we just got last year. I will absolutely defend the field upgrades and the ammo mods coming at season 1 as not drip fed because that's all at the same time. But when it comes to the grenades and equipment and especially score streaks, I do very much worry about that because if they're going to advertise, oh look, the death machine's here, it's like, yeah, we just had it. Like, why did you take it away and then just give it back to us? I don't like that about the modern formula for zombies. And well, I guess Call of Duty in general. But anyway, Augment Research. If you've been living under a rock, each perk, ammo mod, and field upgrade can be equipped with 1 major and 1 minor augment. There are 4 major and 4 minor augments with all of the different perks and ammo mods and field upgrades. And once you get done researching it, you will be able to equip the extra slot minor augment, which in essence allows you to pick 2 different minor augments. Very cool. But like I said, you're going to need to reach level 11 before you can start researching. Luckily, you don't lose Augment Research if you prestige. It does not relock. It becomes permanently accessible once you reach player level 11. And of course, if you have Augment Research content from Black Ops 6, it will be carried over to Black Ops 7. But you might have forgotten this because I forgot about this for quite some time, but then I remembered there are Augment Research criteria for all of the perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades, and you can see that right here. You are going to need to research different levels of augments in order to start researching some of these things. So you can see double tap here, you need to research 18 total augments before you can start researching double tap. Now, I think with the carry forward, if you have everything unlocked in Black Ops 6, I don't think any of these will apply, but they've laid out everything here, all of the unlock requirements. I know it can be quite a bit, which is why I created this. This is a spreadsheet with all the perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades and their augment requirements. And before Black Ops 7 even releases, I'm going to be making a video going over what I think the best augments are going to be for you to research first. But here you can see we've got Stamina, Deadwire, and Energy Mine unlocked by default, so we can research those. And of course, the brand new stuff that we want to use, like Fireworks and Wisp Tea and even Toxic Growth a little bit, you're going to need to research quite a bit before you can start researching those augments. I also on this sheet have the level unlock as well as the salvage required for all of the craftables here, so the tactical, lethal, and support. This spreadsheet will be in the description, but let's get back to the blog post. We have Gobblegums. If you have Gobblegums from Black Ops 6, they can be used in Black Ops 7. Gobblegums can also be used during Dead Ops Arcade, which we might dive into a little bit this year. And they do remind you that these Gobblegums that you get from leveling are only going to be unlocked once. They are not subsequently awarded during prestiging, and they don't relock like other equipment. What this doesn't say, and this is a great question that we have, if I get Gobblegums in Black Ops 7, does that mean I can get them now in Black Ops 6? Because if we're getting new Gobblegums in Black Ops 7, like Round Off and Requipment, are those going to be available in Black Ops 6? I don't think so, but if I get a wall power, will that be available in Black Ops 6? It's a great question, and I don't have the answer. There are 40 different types of flavorful Gobblegums, 41 returning, 6 new. We've gone over these before. Here they all are. The brand new ones are Aftertaste, and that's it for the rare ones. Down here we have the epics, and the new ones are going to be Requipment, which makes your equipment recharge over time, and Power Vacuum, which increases the drop rate of power-ups. Legendary, we have Armorgeddon and Round Off. Armorgeddon, I think, gets you 3 plates of armor right away, and then Round Off makes it so that you repeat the round, I think, 2 times. This is great for not only camo grinding, but point maximizing, especially for Easter eggs. If you want to keep it to a low round, that could be very powerful. And then with our Ultras, we have a brand new in the form of gift card, which gives us 30,000 points. With Whimsicals, it looks like everything is here. Newtonian Negation, Jack-o'-lanterns, Indigestion, Rain Burps, Cracknarok, Die Pitched, and Holiday Cheer. So no new ones there. I know, we're all heartbroken. I really think they can make some more fun ones. Like, these are good, these are fun, but I think they could dial it up just a little bit more. But now we've got to talk about the different modes. We've got some really sick icons that I probably used in the thumbnail of this video. We have the return of the training course. We have the standard mode, directed mode, which is coming season 1. I saw a lot of people saying that this unlocks after we beat the main quest. That's not the case. This comes at season 1. And the creator call I was a part of, they said that this is going to be basically the same cadence as last year. If the map releases on season 1, then season 1 reload is going to have directed mode. And just like here, Ashes of the Damned, season 0, so that means season 1 gonna have directed mode on it. I think directed mode is one of the single best things to come to zombies literally ever, and I hope it doesn't go anywhere. It is so good. Survival, it's just our survival maps. We get farm at launch, and then we're gonna get diner and the Cosmodrome at season 1, which I'm gonna guess is gonna come December 4th. That's my prediction. And then cursed, we have a more challenging experience for advanced players. Additionally, players can discover and activate relics to face even harder challenges in exchange for new levels of power and rewards. I do want to point out here, they are treating cursed and survival maps as 2 different modes. I do kind of agree, it would be really nice to play the cursed mode on these smaller maps. They've not announced it. I'm like 99% sure that's not going to be possible. And while right now, I feel like I want to play this on survival maps, due to the nature of the mode, that might not be possible, because I still feel like there's more to this mode that we're not really understanding yet. But for future reference, yes, I would love it if cursed was playable on survival maps. I think a lot of people would like that. But we do get a new level of depth describing the cursed mode, because obviously, we know about relics. We acquire relics by completing challenges in cursed mode. That's a different way of phrasing that. Previously, they said you uncover them through certain means. This almost sounds more like in-game menu-y, like, oh, we're going to have a separate menu for cursed, and boom, we're going to have to do this specific challenge in Ashes of the Damned to get this relic, which makes it seem like it's an external progression rather than an internal progression. Like, we're going to need to get like 100 kills without perks in order to unlock this relic, as opposed to doing an Easter egg in-game to unlock the relic. So I don't know if people are going to like that, but that's how that's phrased to me. But we have tiers. Equip relics to increase your tier level and add unique challenges and bonuses to your match. And then there are different rewards at different tier levels. Big drop here, there are significant debuffs to increase the challenge in a cursed mode, but there are 9 to find across Ashes of the Damned. I really like that they told us how many there are. The old school zombie player in me doesn't like that they told us how many there are, but if we found 9 of these relics on Ashes of the Damned, but we didn't like find the relic that turned off rarities or turned off armor or whatever, then I think people would be very frustrated and upset, and it would just lead to confusion and frustration. So the fact that they told us there's 9, once we find 9, we know 100% that's what there is, and we can judge it for how it is. But interestingly, this is where we take a little bit of a left turn. The more potent the relic, the greater challenge you face, obviously. However, the more potent the relic, the greater your tier power becomes. Now, I want to formally apologize to you beautiful people, and I guess to Treyarch too, because in the creator call that I was a part of, Kevin Drew 1000% mentioned these tier levels, but I really didn't understand exactly what he meant at the time. You get these relics, you equip relics, and then you'll get different tier levels, and I was like, what does that mean? And so because I didn't fully understand what it was, I didn't mention it because I wasn't confident in explaining it to you. But unfortunately, I think that led to more confusion, but this has been a thing for a long time. And in the original blog post, and yes, even in some dev talks, they did mention that increasing your power level is a part of this mode. So it's not like this has been a big secret. I just don't think the word tiers have been used until now. With relics adding significant challenges to your matches, you'll want some otherworldly assistance as well. This is where tier unlocks come in. There are 3 tiers to unlock before you drop into your next cursed match. A tier bar fills up as you choose the relics you wish to employ for your next match. The only way to unlock tiers is to pick relics. This sounds really cool. I'm really excited about this. The more potent the relic, the more of the tier bar it unlocks. As you continue to play more cursed matches, you'll find clues to unlock more relics. Again, is this just an in-game thing? Hey, get this many zombie kills and then we'll give you a clue for your next relic? Are we able to find relics without the clues? And if this is confusing, someone in my Discord, I think it was Frozen Inferno, shout out you, he posted this picture and I don't remember what game it's from off the top of my head. But as you could see, I imagine this is going to be basically what the relic and tier system looks like. We're going to pick relics, and the harder the relic, the more we fill up that tier bar, and that tier bar can give us different benefits. So I wonder if golden armor is like tier 1, but we can only get golden armor if we have enough relics or hard enough relics to get to that tier 1. So for example, if we've already unlocked golden armor, but then we don't equip any relics, so our tier level is 0, maybe that is going to relock golden armor and say, hey, nope, your game's not that hard. You don't need golden armor. I really like that because now it means that there might be different combinations of relics to use to make your game play in a specific type of difficulty to get you to that full tier. I am so excited for this mode. I really hope they pulled off well. I'm always very, very nervous when Zombies tries to be challenging because it always just comes off as unfair. But this sounds really interesting. Aside from unearthing some fiendish challenges as you hunt down all 9 relics, there are fabled rewards on offer to those brave or deranged enough to complete Ashes of the Damned in cursed tier 1, 2, and 3. Again, is tier 3, like cursed tier 3, going to be like the Halo legendary all schools on lasso type of mode? And then how does that change based on tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, or tier 0? Like, are we going to spawn in with tier 1? It's so cool. I'm so excited for this. This is, I hope people can get over the fact that this has never been advertised as a classic mode. And if you're subscribed to the channel, you know that's the case too. You guys are smart enough here on the channel. You've watched my videos. You know exactly what this mode was going to be from the start. But I do genuinely hope people can work past that mental barrier because this sounds like it has so much replay potential. Yes, we've unlocked the main quest. Okay, that's great. But ooh, can you do the main quest in tier 3 cursed? Oh, that is going to be really interesting. At least I really hope so. I could be absolutely wrong. We could be watching this video years from now and be like, Donuts, cursed was not it. We could, I don't know. Smaller news, Wonder Weapons now have mastery badges. If you watched a recent dev talk, you'll know that mastery badges are new. Well, I guess they're not new, but they're rewarding you more for these badges. Again, I want a spreadsheet where you can track all of your mastery badges and see what you've got to do next. But we've got the Ray Gun Mark II by default, and of course the Necrofluid Gauntlet, all of which are going to have badges that you can grind. I love that. I think Wonder Weapons should have like camo challenges too. I know that's really crazy, but I just give me a reason to use them. Oftentimes I want to use just my regular gun. So if they put like camo challenges on these guns, I feel like that would be pretty cool. I don't know. Now, unfortunately, we've got to talk about the HUD. You guys know I'm done talking about the HUD. This is the HUD by default. I agree with you. It's very cluttered, doesn't look super great. I will say a lot of these things are justified. Lots of you beautiful people say, Donuts, like you need to put on your minimap. I don't know where you're at. And a lot of people love using the minimap to find that last zombie. Lots of people love damage numbers, myself included, because I love testing things out, or people just like how it looks. People like the health bar. The health bar gives you feedback of how strong your weapon is. That's fine. This score feed, I do love that it's going to be down here in the cursed mode. I wish that was an option, but that's the modern take on the OG point feed. Again, would love to have that option, but I get why it's there. I don't really understand the compass. I don't know if anybody really uses the compass. I might try running the compass to see if there's anything good about it. I will say, I hope there's a way to turn off this player card because this is just too much in my opinion. Now, I don't think it's all that bad, but this kind of looks a lot bigger than Black Ops 6 if you ask me. But anyway, even though people like this, I love the fact that I could see my health right there. But this is just better. Turning all of that stuff off, it's way clean, it's way more immersive. During my first playthrough, I'm going to be taking all of this off so you guys can really see what the HUD's going to be like, because this to me, it looks fine. I get it. I don't like the weapon picture either, but it's not a game-breaking issue for me. And I genuinely do like the ether theme. I think it's pretty cool. They're showing you how to do the classic HUD layout, the themes and all this stuff. We're going to get more themes. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to test out all the different layouts. Again, day one, I'm giving you guys that settings video. Unfortunately, medals and notifications, where's that? Yeah, medals and notifications are still together. I will always preach that I want those separate. I don't like medals, but I want to see my notifications. I would love it if we could separate that. That would be awesome. Also, a way to turn on boss zombie health bars, but keep them off of regular zombies would be good. It's not one of the biggest things in my opinion, but it would be nice to have that. But hopefully that's the last thing I say about the HUD until that video, and then we're done forever. The new Intel inspection and investigation, whatever that means. We have the zombies intel's back, but They are now giving you XP and a reward for finding these intels, but now we're going to be able to inspect and study them in the Enhanced Zombies Intel menu. So this is basically going to be just like Cold War, where I think you can click on it and you can look around and it's like a 3D model, which is really good. Big thing missing from Black Ops 6. And yes, I do want to start out, hold me accountable to this, beautiful people. I want to go through all of the intel and the story of Black Ops 7. I want to get on it early, so hold me accountable to it. It was too late for Black Ops 6. You guys said you wanted it. I want it too. Let's discover the story together. And then we have some Dead Ops Arcade 4, which is going to be available from a first-person perspective at launch. Really cool. I think we're going to have like field upgrades and gobblegums in this. There's different difficulty levels too. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to jump into this, but man, it looks so fun. Now, with how many blog posts and dev talks there have been about Black Ops 7, you might be a little overwhelmed. Where was this? Where did they talk about that? So I have something brand new to show you. Welcome to my Black Ops 7 information hub. I have YouTube videos, blog posts, gameplay trailers, behind the scenes intel, all linked in this one spreadsheet. You can click on all of this. Here's the blog post we just went over. Oh, sorry, no, that's a YouTube thing. Here's the blog post that we just went over. All of the pre-release stuff, all of the launch window stuff, and hopefully the season 1, season 2, season 3 stuff. So if you have any idea, hey, what blog post was that? Hey, what video was that? Hopefully it could all be right here. On top of that, when I do my augment reviews, I am going to link all of the stuff with a photo link, a YouTube video link, and a spreadsheet link all right here. And not only that, not only just the augments, but the regular stuff too, my XP testing, my Gobblegum testing, all attachment testing. This is going to be linked in the description of all of my Black Ops 7 videos. And if you want even more Black Ops 7 Zombies information, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.